Assalamu alaikum dear students. Today we are going to start the week 6 lesson of economics for class C2. Our resource material is Cambridge Economics book, which is written by the Brent Titley and Dan Menon. You can also use a reference book which is written by the Susan Grant. Now come towards the contents. First of all, we will check the objective of the lesson. After that, we will review the last week topic. Then we will discuss about the current week topic, which is macroeconomic aims of the government. Then we will check the summary, and in the last there will be an assignment for you. First of all, we will check the objective. By the end of the lesson, students will be able to explain the macroeconomic aims of the government. Dear students, macroeconomic aims are most important, so we are continuing this topic in this week as well. First of all, we will review the last week topic. Macroeconomics is the study of how a national economy works. It involves understanding the interaction between changes in total demand and output and national income, employment, and price inflation in an economy. In contrast, microeconomic analysis the market behavior of individual consumers and producers and how different markets work. The total expenditure or demand in a macroeconomy is therefore the sum of the following. These are consumer expenditure, investment expenditure, public sector expenditure, and exports. Total expenditure in an economy is therefore spent on the total quantity supplied of all goods and services in that economy. This is the sum of all goods and services supplied by the private firms and public sector organizations in the economy. Most national governments have four main economic aims or objectives for their macroeconomies. These are economic growth in the total output of the national economy. The second is a high and stable level of employment. The third point is a low and stable rate of inflation. And the last fourth objective is a stable balance of international trade and payments. All the different markets for factor resources, goods and services in an economy make up the macroeconomy of a country. A macroeconomy therefore has a demand side and supply side just like every individual market. The interaction of total demand and supply will determine the equilibrium level of prices and total level of output and employment in a macro economy. Government intervention. Government will often intervene in their macroeconomies using tools known as a policy instruments to change or influence total demand and supply in order to achieve their objectives for inflation, employment, output, and international trade. The first policy is demand side policy. Demand side policies try to influence the total demand in an economy using a number of different policy instruments, which are total public expenditure, the overall level of taxation, and the rate of interest. Effectiveness of demand side policy. The demand side policy instruments can be effective for the following reasons. The first reason is consumers' spending depends on their disposable income. Disposable income is that income which a person can obtain after the deduction of all taxes. The second point is taxes on profits will affect people's incentives, just like if there is a high tax, then there will be low profit for the people. The third point is increasing public expenditure can boost total demand. The next point is as interest rate rise, consumers may save more and borrow less. This may also encourage investments from overseas. As interest rate fall, firms borrow more. The last point is public spending and taxes can also be used to redistribute income and wealth. The second instrument is supply side policy. Supply side policies aim to boost the productive potential of an economy. Boosting the total supply will help to raise its rate of economic growth and reduce inflationary pressure. Supply side policy instruments are used to reduce or remove barriers to increased employment and higher level of productivity and to create incentives for firms and workers. Effectiveness of supply side policy. Supply side policy instruments include targeted public expenditure, for example, providing government subsidies to firms to encourage them to fund the research and development of new and more efficient production processes and products. The second point is targeted tax changes For example, reducing taxes on wages and profits to increase the reward for work and enterprise. And the third point is new regulations and reforms. For example, introducing legislation to outlaw unfair and anti-competitive practices by large powerful firms. It can help the small firms to grow more in the market. It can also help in the reduction of unemployment as well. People's buying power will increase here as well. Supply side policy instruments therefore aim to influence the behavior of consumers and producers to achieve the macroeconomic aims of the government. In the last, there is a summary of the topic. In this lesson, you have learned about the macroeconomic aims of the government. These are economic growth in the total output of the national economy. The second objective is a high and stable level of employment. The third objective is a low and stable rate of inflation. And the last, fourth objective is a stable balance of international trade and payments. These can be managed by two different policies. These are demand side policy and supply side policy. Demand side policy can help to increase the demand in the public sector, increase the demand by the general public, which will give the boost to the production as well. The supply side policy helps to provide more goods and services in the market, which will create more jobs in the market. So these two policies are helpful to manage the government aims. In the last, there is an assignment for you. The first question is, identify any two government economic aims. The main aims are four, but just you write down only two government economic aims. The second question is, analyze how an increase in bank lending can increase economic growth. As we have studied in previous slides that if interest rate is high, then people will save more and will spend less. But if interest rate is low, then firms will borrow more, which will increase or boost the economy. Firms will have different options to invest the money because there is low rate of interest. Dear students, it was the idea for the second question. You can take the help from the book as well. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.